police are waiting to interview the driver of an overnight express which careered off the rails and crashed into houses at Morpeth in Northumberland. 38 people were hurt and 3 are still in hospital. Rescue teams said they were amazed no one was killed. The driver is under sedation at Newcastle's Royal Victoria Hospital and won't be interviewed until tomorrow. His train, the intercity sleeper from Aberdeen to London, jumped the rails just before 1 o'clock this morning as it ran at Morpeth Curve. Several passengers said the train appeared to be travelling too fast.
Rescuers and railway engineers are calling it the miracle of Morpeth. The 7 sleeping car coaches and 2 guards vans ploughed across gardens and into 2 houses more than 20 yards from the track. Yet from the overturned and mangled train, almost all of the 76 men, women and children walked away with little more than cuts and bruises. Firemen led dazed passengers to safety still in their night clothes. 38 of them who needed treatment were taken to local hospitals. For the remainder, nearby people provided drinks and blankets. Later they were taken to Newcastle to recover their belongings and resume their journey. Many of them spoke of excessive speed and jolting of the train just before the crash. Actor Gerald Flood and his wife were on the train.
And then suddenly it picked up speed, and she had a bouquet on the wash basin thing, and that flew onto the floor. She came down the ladder to pick up the bouquet, and then she went back up the ladder, and there was a slight braking, and I thought, that's it, he's calming down a bit now. And then suddenly he picked up speed again, and suddenly there was this hell of a jolt, and the lights went out, and we were upside down.
Well, I saw some people coming down from the houses, so I screamed at them, give me a hammer, because I couldn't find the hammer in the place, and I couldn't find the damn place where you put the hammer. And so somebody threw me up a hammer, and I started walking on the train, smashing windows in. So I don't know whether British Rail sent me a bill for the damaged train, but I broke a few windows.
And helped people out, did you?
Yes, by that time the firemen were there, so I was smashing windows while they were hauling them out.
There's a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit on the bend. The driver of the train, who was pulled free from the engine, still hasn't been able to give investigators an account of the crash. He's under sedation in hospital with head injuries that are not thought to be serious. 2 sleeping car attendants are the only others still in hospital. British Rail say the new design of sleeping cars, introduced 3 years ago following a fire tragedy at Taunton, undoubtedly prevented loss of life. But the rescue services were astounded that even the injuries were so slight.
An absolute miracle. You know, one can say that it's a disaster to have a rail crash, but really and truly to have one of this type and the sort of devastation of the track and everything else, and people, really and truly minor injuries of 38 out of about 100 odd people, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
Lady luck sat on everybody's shoulder once the accident happened, no doubt at all.
This stretch of the main line has a notorious history. On the same bend 16 years ago, 6 people were killed and more than 100 injured when a northbound train was derailed. And in 1877, on the same spot, a similar accident killed 5 passengers.